Hey everybody, welcome to Teacher Tip Tuesday. It's been a couple of weeks since I've posted a video, but I actually took some of my students to New York City on a field trip. So I've been keeping things going over here as a teacher. So this week I'm going to give you 2 tips. So these teacher tip videos are part of my professional development this year. My goal is to, after 21 years of teaching, post some of the things that I've learned over the past 21 years. Of course, I have not arrived. I am still learning every single day, and any teacher will tell you, you never really arrive. Of course, you learn your lessons that perhaps that you, in your first few years, get used to. You figure out your own style, your own management style, your own way to run your classroom. But 2 things that I want to share with you today are, first of all, number 1, say hello to your students. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that common sense? Well, especially at the high school level, we often get in there, get in the grind. We have 7 or 8 periods, depending on what school you're at, and you just begin the class period right away. You want to make sure those kids are getting into the grind and they're getting the work done. And often we don't have a whole lot of time to finish all the things that we want to do. But one thing I've realized is that we all need a greeting of some sort, and we all need a way to say goodbye. I found that that has really given me an awesome connection with my students. So for years now, I always try to say hello. The kids will tell you, at least this year, I always say hello, AP Lang, because that is the class that I'm teaching this fall. And I make sure that we take time and just look each other in the eye and say hello to each other. Our students, they're human beings. They're not just cogs in this whole system of education. They need to be treated like humans. So I always make sure to say hello, look at them in the eye. And sometimes when I take the time to do that, I recognize that some of them are perhaps having a hard day. I remember the other day I had a student with tears in her eyes, and something had gone on the night before, and we needed to just take a minute and be able to, there's a bell, that's part of teaching. We needed to just take a minute and really just breathe together as a class and realize that life is way more important than school. Not only do I want to say hello, but I like to say goodbye to my students. So every single day, without a beat, I stand by the door and I high five them all out of the door. You know, that whole idea of touch and that whole idea of triggering the brain to say we're in this together is really important. I started the high fives probably about 6 or 7 years ago, but we joke because I do not let a student leave the room without getting a high five from me. I've been known even to chase them down the hallway. Teacher tip 2 today is to offer students opportunities. Granted, I teach English, but as I'm learning and growing as a person myself, I want my students to learn and grow with me. So a good example of something that I'm doing right now is I am offering my students the opportunity to be part of the 30-day No Complaining Challenge. So for the month of November, I challenge myself. I usually do it every year. The month changes, but I challenge myself to a 30-day no complaining challenge. What I'll do is I'll take a Sharpie and I'll put an X on my index finger, and I will remind myself that every time I point my finger at someone else, there are 3 fingers pointing back at me. If I can't do something to change it, then I need to change my attitude. So I like to give students opportunities to join me in personal growth. So whether that be doing a $1 difference, which I challenge the students to do, or join me on a 30-day no complaining challenge. They fill these out and then I hang them in the hallway. It just gives them another opportunity for personal growth, ways that they can challenge themselves. And I always tell the students it's just an opportunity. It's not something they have to feel guilty about or have to participate in, but we're here to sharpen each other. And I tell them, I apologize if you're in my space, then I feel like my job is to sharpen you and to love you too much to leave you the same. And so as I'm growing as a person, I want to take them along on that journey with me. I hope you're enjoying the teacher tips. If you have some ideas of ways that you can say hello or ways that you can help your students grow, I'd love for you to comment. I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Teach Upside Down. You may be seeing this video on Instagram. If you are, I would love for you to comment or share or let other people know about my teacher tips. This is a way for us as a teaching community to share what we've been learning over our teaching career. I'm always looking for tips from others. So please comment, like, or share, and I'll see you next Tuesday.